What happens when Britain's most controversial royal sits down with television's most unfiltered host? When Prince Harry faced off against Sharon Osbourne, what began as a cordial interview on The View quickly descended into one of the most explosive confrontations in daytime television history. The episode was intended to highlight Harry's charitable work with veterans and mental health advocacy. Producers were briefed. It would be a respectful, straightforward conversation. But behind the scenes, Harry's team had delivered a long list of forbidden topics. No questions about King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, the Netflix series, or his memoir. Sharon Osbourne had no intention of honoring that list. From the moment Harry walked on set, adjusting his tie with a flicker of nervous energy, Sharon's eyes followed him. The opening minutes flowed smoothly, with Harry giving polished, careful responses. But Sharon was waiting for her moment. "It's wonderful to hear about your charity work, Harry," she began, her tone warm but calculated. "Really admirable. But how do you reconcile this public image of caring for veterans with what many see as your complete abandonment of your own military family back home?" The question landed like a strike. Harry's expression tightened, irritation flashing before his mask returned. "That's quite an unfair characterization. My commitment to veterans has never wavered, regardless of geographical boundaries or family circumstances." Sharon's laugh was sharp. "Geographical boundaries? Family circumstances? That's quite the euphemism for turning your back on everything you once stood for. You served your country with honor for 10 years. These people followed you into battle. And now you're here, cashing Netflix checks while throwing those same institutions under the bus." "My service record speaks for itself," Harry replied, his voice steady but taut. "I've chosen to speak truth to power, something that clearly makes people uncomfortable." Sharon seized the opening. "Truth to power? Is that what we're calling it now? You had everything, absolutely everything, handed to you, and you threw it away because you couldn't handle criticism from the British press." Harry's composure began to crack. "You have no idea what my family went through, what my wife endured, or the impossible position we were put in by an institution more concerned with its image than the people who serve it." "Oh, you mean the woman who married into the most privileged family on earth and then complained about how difficult her life was?" Sharon's voice dripped with sarcasm. The studio fell silent. Sharon pressed on. "Let's talk privilege. You were born into a life billions can only dream of. Private jets, luxury homes, security details, the finest education. Yet somehow you've managed to cast yourself as the victim." "This is about protecting my family from the same machine that killed my mother," Harry said, his voice catching. "Don't you dare invoke your mother to justify your betrayal," Sharon shot back. "Diana never abandoned her duty. She never ran away to California to make documentaries and write tell-all books." Harry shot to his feet, his chair nearly toppling. "How dare you speak about my mother? You didn't know her. You don't know what she went through or what she would have wanted for her sons." "I know she wouldn't have wanted her son to be a professional victim," Sharon replied coldly. The blows kept coming. She accused him of abandoning his country, of playing the race card, of weaponizing his trauma. "You've turned your mother's death into a brand. You've built an entire industry around being Princess Diana's grieving son. Frankly, it's grotesque." Harry's face went pale, then red with fury. "Stop talking," he warned. But Sharon continued. "Every interview, every book deal, every documentary, it all comes back to your mother's death. You've built a multi-million-dollar empire on that tragedy." Harry's voice turned cold. "You want to know about my mother? She spent her last years hunted by photographers who saw her as a commodity. She died in a Paris tunnel because she was being chased. And now I'm sitting across from someone doing the same thing. You're exploiting tragedy for ratings. You're everything wrong with the system that killed her." For the first time, Sharon looked unsettled. "When I share my story," Harry said, "I'm trying to prevent others from going through what my family went through. When you exploit it, you feed the same machine that destroyed her." "I'm done," he said, ripping off his microphone. "I'm done with this conversation, this show, and people like you who think human decency is optional as long as it gets ratings." He turned to walk away, then paused. "You know what the real tragedy is, Sharon? You had the chance to have a meaningful conversation about veterans, mental health, supporting military families. Instead, you turned it into a circus for your own amusement." "Harry, wait," she began. "No," he said firmly. "I've waited long enough for people like you to remember there are human beings behind the headlines. I'm done waiting." With that, Prince Harry walked off set, leaving behind stunned silence. Sharon had her viral moment, but as the lights dimmed and the crew packed up, the cost of that victory was only beginning to emerge. She had revealed just how far she was willing to go for the sake of entertainment, and that revelation would follow her for years.